Good afternoon, everyone. This is Elizabeth
Hello.
Velasco from the Velasco team of Remax Gold. Welcome. This is our Zoom Facebook live streaming. Here with me is Rodney Jung from New American Funding. So go ahead, Rodney, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Rodney Jong from New American Funding. I am a mortgage banker specializing in refi and purchase transactions.
Awesome. Okay, so our hot topic for today is what we call mortgage forbearance. I know last year, a year ago, we got hit with the global pandemic, COVID pandemic, and we got some assistance from the government. And what we're going to talk about here today is yes, I'm in a mortgage forbearance. Now what? So, Rodney, do you want to talk to them about what is a mortgage forbearance?
Yeah, so basically, mortgage forbearance came out in March of 2020. It was a government act, part of the CARES Act, to help people relieve stress on, paying the mortgage if you lost your job, if you were furloughed, anything like that, and you couldn't pay your mortgage. The government came out with something that allowed you to do forbearance on your mortgage. Initially, it started in March of 2020, but people, you could call in and ask for it anytime, even up to now, you can still ask for it. The initial period that they give you is usually 6 months, then they extend it to 12 months. And the total amount they allow right now is 12 months plus 2 3-month extensions. So you can go up to 18 months without paying your mortgage right now.
Okay, so tell me, and this is special because of the pandemic that we are experiencing right now. So when does it actually expire? I heard it expires on September 30th of 2021. Is
So
that
it doesn't expire until your term is up. So as of right now, if you had requested forbearance up to, believe, June of 2020, your first forbearance on a FHA mortgage, you would get 12 months and you could extend it 2 more times for another 6 months total. So 18 months total. And
so?
on a Fannie Mae loan,
Mhm.
you can extend it, 18 months. So it just depends on when people ask for it. If you ask for it in December, you're still on your 12-month forbearance program and you still can extend it another 6 months if you needed to.
So what is September 30th of 2021 then?
That is probably when they're going to stop allowing you to request it.
Oh, to request it. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so tell me, does it affect your credit score if you are in mortgage forbearance, like you're not paying your mortgage for about a year? So what happens to your
No,
credit?
it doesn't affect your credit score. Just when I pull people's credits that are on forbearance, it just shows no payment, shows a zero, and it just says that customers currently in a forbearance program. It doesn't affect your score though. So the part of the CARES Act when they did it to do the forbearance is to make sure that it doesn't affect your credit.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, and what about, tell me, what about, let's say I'm in forbearance and you know how the home prices right now has been going up like crazy. And I wanted to, like, let's say, refinance so I could get a better rate, or refinance so I could pull out cash so I could take care of some, like home improvements on my property, or maybe put in a pool in my property. So what happens if you are in the middle of the forbearance program and you wanted to refinance?
So there's a couple of different things. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which are conventional loans, and FHA have different guidelines. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, there's three options, that they give us. But basically, the first option is, you can call them up and say that you want to get out of forbearance and you want to bring your mortgage current, meaning you have to pay all the months that you skipped. So if you skip 6 months, you're going to have to pay them for the 6 months that you skipped. Once you do that, you're eligible to refinance. For cash out or regular rate and term the next day, after you pay it off and you get a letter from them. It usually takes about a week that says that you're out of forbearance and you're current. The other option is that some people are doing where you're getting out of forbearance. So you already called and you said, I want to get out of forbearance. And they gave you options on what to do with your mortgage. They said, we can tuck it to the back of your loan, or you could pay it off. And if you chose to tuck it to the back of your loan, that means like they would add whatever you didn't pay to your balance and they would put you on a payment plan. Some of the payment plans allow you to add another year onto your mortgage. So basically you would pay your regular payment that you're paying right now before you went into forbearance, but your mortgage would extend. Instead of a 30-year, it might be a 31-year, so that you can pay off that difference that you owe. The other way that some banks or some services are doing it is that they're adding it on, but they're increasing your monthly payment and making you pay it off in a short time, maybe 5 years. So your payment's going to increase. If it was $2,600, they might add another $300 on top of that every month until you pay off that forbearance, or you can just pay off the forbearance. So to get back to your question, in order to refi, you would either have to pay it off, or if you go into a plan where they tuck it back into your loan or add it onto your loan, you have to make 3 on-time payments after you have stopped the forbearance.
3 on-time payments.
3 on-time payments. So 3 months after you stop the forbearance, as long as you make those on-time payments, then on a conventional loan, you can refinance for a cash out or a rate and term. Now, FHA is a little different. If you make 3 payments, then you can do a rate and term refinance, but you cannot do a cash out. The only way you can do an FHA loan cash out is after you've made 12 months of payments.
12 months.
12 months.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And then as far as selling, if you say,
we'll ask that the next question.
Okay.
Okay. So my next question is, I have some, like people are asking, okay, I have all this equity. This home doesn't fit my need anymore because I need a bigger backyard. I need more bedrooms. So what if I do a buy and sell? So what's going to happen?
So there's going to be no
are in the middle of the mortgage forbearance.
Okay, so there on a conventional loan and a FHA loan, there's no restrictions. If you sell a house and you pay everything off, you can go out and buy the next day.
No, but what about the fact that you are actually on your credits is showing that you are on forbearance?
Well, we just show them that you sold the house before you close on your new house.
That's it. You just need to show that you already closed escrow.
Because you paid off the forbearance, you paid off, when you're selling it, you're going to pay off the forbearance you owe. You're going to pay off everything when you sell it. So,
okay. My next question is, what if, let's say, I'm in the middle, maybe I wanted to do a contingent sale. Like that means, I want to make an offer on this property, but I have not sold my house because I'm still in the middle of the escrow. Then what?
We're just going to tell the underwriters that it's going to be paid off.
It's going to be paid off because you are in the middle of the escrow.
Yeah, in the sale.
Okay. So that's the other option. Okay. So my next question is, I heard about, COVID loan modification. So can you kind of articulate about that? Because some people, I think, were able to modify their loan during the, in the middle of the pandemic or on the onstart of the pandemic.
So, I haven't seen a lot of people do the modifications, but basically the forbearance program is one way of them kind of modifying their loan. But are you talking about modifying to lower their payment or something? Like that? So I think that
lower the rate.
Yeah. So I haven't really seen anyone or heard of anyone that's done it. Mainly everyone is doing just the forbearance. I think after you come out of forbearance, you have to talk to your servicer whoever you pay your mortgage to, and ask them what kind of options they have for you to do a modification, because maybe they're not allowing you to add another add another year onto the back of your loan in order to pay it off, and they want you to pay it off in a certain time. Then you'd have to go through a modification process with them. But every loan servicer is different. So they all have different guidelines. It's not, like one shoe fits all. Some of them will allow you to add time on the end. Some of them will make you pay it off in the next 5 years. Some of them will let you pay it off in 10 years. You have to call your individual mortgage company servicer and ask them, and they'll tell you what you can do.
Okay. So now let's talk about, let's say I'm in the middle of forbearance. Mm-hmm. And then, I did my 12 months, an additional 3 months, which is, you said,
additional 6 months, actually. You can go to 18 months.
6 months. Okay, so a total of 18 months.
Right.
And there's no changes in my financial situation. I'm still struggling. I won't be able to afford or resume the payment or whatever loan modification that they provided me to lower my payment. So then what? I guess the next the last ultimate step is what? Of course, you don't want
Probably,
to foreclose it.
yeah, I would say, you would want to probably look into selling then, because your credit's not affected during the forbearance period. So if you had a 750 credit score before you asked for forbearance, your score is still going to be 750 as you're going through the whole forbearance. So you can qualify for a new loan. Maybe you're just going to have to find, you're going to want to sell, take the equity out, and put it down on another house that may suit your needs or accommodate you better.
Okay. But what about if I cannot afford the payment on the next house?
Uh,
Because I still have not gained employment because I'm still, unemployed. Then
there, I
I guess
don't.
the last resort will be to sell the property.
Basically, yes, it would be.
Yeah, sell the property.
There's so much equity right now in the past year and a half, which is kind of funny because, with COVID, you would think the prices would go down, but they just skyrocketed up. So everybody has so much equity. So I would say that do not let your house, if you can't afford it now, like the situation you're talking about, don't let it go into foreclosure or anything like that. Just sell it to pull out the equity, maybe rent, and then let the market calm down a little, and then you can buy again because your credit's not affected.
Correct. Yes. And for me, as a realtor, that's the worst thing that you could do. It's like just let it go, do not and let it go to foreclosure because you're sitting on an equity on your property. In order to save it from foreclosure, just sell the property and keep that, equity or money to kind
Yeah,
of
and
help you out.
you can rent for a year and keep the money in the bank, and then you might be able to buy next year once your jobs employment stabilizes.
Stabilize. Okay. So, any word of advice that you could tell our viewers if they are like, about mortgage forbearance itself?
I mean, to me, if you really need to use mortgage forbearance, then I would definitely take advantage of it because it'll help you stay in your house. And the options that they have out there, it was designed to help you to stay in your house. But if you're thinking about refinancing or to pull money out or anything like that, you want to really think about when to cancel your forbearance, how to get out of forbearance. Because interest rates are starting to climb right now. And if you want to try to take advantage of low rates, you're going to have to figure out whether or not you can pay back all the months you've missed. A lot of people have saved up the money that they haven't paid because even though they were working, they just took the forbearance because the banks were offering it. But at the same time, if you take the forbearance and you're not able to bring it current, you can't take advantage of lowering your payment by refinancing, right? So it's kind
Okay.
of a little bit of a catch. So, you want to kind of decide now, before your forbearance ends, because the rates are still low, and decide if you want to call a bank and say, hey, I want to end the forbearance. Can you add it to the back of my loan so you can make those 3 monthly payments and then maybe refinance again? Or you can call
Refinance.
them and say, hey, can I pay off everything that I missed and take me out of forbearance, and then you can refinance right away. It just depends on what everybody's plans are for it.
Okay. So, but currently, what's the current interest rate right now on a good credit?
We're looking somewhere in the 3 to 3.375 on a refi.
So for
Sometimes you can get a little lower. We're not going to really see rates in the twos anymore. It's just inflation is really playing a big part on interest rates going up right now. But
Okay. Okay. So, tell me, what if like, uh, can you participate on mortgage forbearance even if you could afford your payment and you don't have any hardship at all?
you can. So I mean, there's a lot of people that have done that. If the bank offers it to you, they're not really looking. When the CARES Act was happening, they weren't really being strict. You can just call in and say, hey, I can't afford to pay my mortgage.
Okay, so there's no qualification whether you're in hardship or not. Everybody qualifies.
Not with the CARES Act. Yeah,
Mhm. With the CARES Act, everybody qualifies.
pretty much everyone qualifies. You just call in and tell them that you're having a hard time paying your mortgage. You haven't been working.
Okay, so the only drawback is, if you wanted to refinance or do a buy and sell, right?
The only drawback is basically if you want to refinance and pull any money
Just
out.
refinance. Okay, gotcha. Because it's going to be paid anyway
Correct.
when you do buy and sell.
And it doesn't
Okay.
affect your credit, which is the biggest thing. So your scores are still intact.
Okay. Or refinance to get full cash out.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Any other, anything that you wanted to give to our viewers, or any last insight before we?
I would just say, if you have any questions, to contact me or you, and any
Yes.
questions
And
on
what's your phone
forbearance,
number, Rodney? Your phone number?
it's 916-201-2520.
Got it. And of course, my name is Elizabeth Velasco from the Velasco team of Remax Gold. You could always message me here on Facebook or contact me directly at my cell phone at 916-730-8053. And I hope we provided good information for you. And thank you, Rodney, for
Thank you.
your time today. And we appreciate you. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.